Part 4. Opening the Toolkit. Emotional responses. People have them all the time. Some are great, falling in love, joy, and pleasure. Others not so, falling out of love, sadness and pain. Managers often wish that their colleagues would leave their emotions at home. At home, many people prefer that their partners would leave their workplace stresses at work. NLP tools can help you create positive states in yourself. They are known as anchoring techniques. NLP defines an anchor as an external stimulus that triggers a particular internal state or response. When you learn how to anchor, you can take all your positive and challenging experiences and memories and play around with them to make yourself more resourceful in the future. Our memories are stored as associations with our senses. Smells are particularly powerful anchors to times and events. So, for example, you smell a particular perfume and it transports you back to your first date and splashing on the cologne or aftershave. We create positive and negative anchors for ourselves all the time. How do you set an anchor? First, get clear about the positive state you would ideally wish to be in. Next, recall a specific occasion when you've been in that state. Finally, relive it as vividly as you can. Engage fully with the experience, the sights, sounds, smells, the physical feelings, and internal sensations. And this is the moment to set an anchor for yourself. Hand movements work well as a physical, kinesthetic anchor. Simply notice what your hands are doing as you engage with the experience and hold a distinct movement, such as a clenched grip or thumb and first finger in a circle. Alternatively, as an auditory anchor, listen for a sound. For those with a visual preference, see a picture that symbolizes the positive state. When you need to get back into a positive state, you simply fire the anchor for yourself as a stimulus to change your state. Anchoring is a skill to develop with practice. One great way to work with NLP concepts is to find optimal states for yourself. Simply the best way to be yourself. This is a bit like having a repertoire of tennis or golf shots. Notice times in the past when you've been particularly successful in certain areas and build a range of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic anchors that make you feel good about yourself and other people. Music affects both mind and body. Baroque music is especially suitable for creating a state of relaxed awareness, known as the alpha state. To explore this kind of music, look out for the largo and adagio passages in pieces composed between about 1600 and 1750. Bach, Mozart, Handel and Vivaldi all offer good starting points. Here are some different ways to think about the music you play. Think of an issue or a decision that's bothering you. Rate it on a worry scale of 1 to 10 and note the score on a piece of paper. Then, select 3 pieces of music of different styles. For example, try some Baroque, instrumentals, or soft vocals. Play the first piece of music while thinking about your issue, then rate your thoughts on a scale of 1 to 10. Make a note of how you now see and feel about the issue. Then play the second piece of music while thinking about your issue and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Finally, do the same with a third piece of music. Then assess which music was most powerful in helping you become more resourceful. Another way to develop your NLP skills is to find a positive role model, someone who seems to behave how you'd like to. Then try their body language on for size. One way you can do this is to copy how they hold themselves, upright or soft, smiling or serious. And then try walking the way that they walk. You may hear this called the moccasin walk. Imagine you're wearing that person's shoes and try walking around the room or down the street as if you're treading in their footsteps. By changing your own physiology, you will change your internal state, how you think and react. NLP will not give you the competence to perform skills you don't possess, but anchoring techniques can help you access your innate resources to be the very best you can. A common NLP strategy is to collapse the anchor by firing off 2 anchors simultaneously, the unwanted negative one plus a stronger positive one. What happens is that you're thrown into a state of confusion and a new, different state emerges. The pattern breaks, making way for a new one. Anchors often work in chains, with one trigger leading to another. Sometimes it's useful to create a chain of anchors, like the links in a bracelet. Each link in the chain acts as a stimulus to the next link, building up a sequence of states. For example, your current problem state might be anger, and your desired state might be relaxed. This is quite a jump to achieve in one go. However, if you first step from anger to worry, this has some overlap. Your second step could be from worry to curiosity. Again, there are similarities between the two states. The final step can be from curiosity to relaxed. To move from step to step, you need to fire off a new anchor until you reach your desired state. For many people, public speaking represents speaking under severe pressure. Faced with standing up and speaking in public, they suffer hot sweats, loss of voice and stomach cramps. If ever there was a reason to use anchoring to get back in control, this is it. The NLP Circle of Excellence is a technique to help you summon up the confidence to perform a skill. So you can use it if you have a fear of public speaking, if you want to boost your confidence to play your best shot in sport, and in many other instances. Think of a situation where you're going to perform, and imagine your own magic circle on the ground in front of you. Make it a generous circle of about 3 feet in diameter. These step-by-step instructions take you in and out of your magic circle, telling you what to do at each stage, with the help of a partner. Out of the circle, identify your best state. Tell your partner what that state is. Your partner says, "Remember that time?" Get back to it strongly. See what you saw then, hear what you heard. Then step into the circle and relive that experience. Make it vivid. Be there. Feel what your hands are doing and hold or anchor that state with a hand movement. Next, step out of the circle and repeat the exercise. To prepare for the future event, your partner says, "Think of a time when this state will be useful." Then, with your hand in the anchored position, you move into the circle and your partner asks you to see, hear and feel how it can be now for you. Step out of the circle and relax. You've got it. I described a little earlier how we experience our world through our 5 senses. In NLP, these 5 senses are called modalities. Submodalities are the means of fine-tuning your modalities. Examples of submodalities for your sense of sight may be the size of the picture, its brightness or color, and whether it has a frame around it or not. Submodalities for hearing can be loudness, tempo, or the timbre of a voice, and for feeling could be a heaviness or butterflies in your stomach. You get the idea. You use submodalities to change the intensity of the meaning. Even submodalities can have further distinctions. For example, a picture can be in color or black and white. It can be framed or panoramic. Sounds can be in your head or to the side. Feelings can have a texture. When you visualize yourself in a picture, it's like watching yourself in a home movie. This is dissociated. Or you could actually be in the picture seeing out of your own eyes. This is associated. Usually, the emotions are heightened if you associate into the picture. If you feel you aren't getting the hang of this or any other exercise, feel free to leave it for the moment. You can always come back to it and give the exercise another go when you have more NLP embedded in your mind and muscle. Or you can find yourself an NLP practitioner or NLP practice group to work with in order to advance your skills. Imagine you have a remote control with 3 sliding buttons labeled V for visual, A for auditory, and K for kinesthetic. You can change the qualities of any pictures you make in your mind, sounds you hear in your head, or any feelings you feel in your body just by sliding the V, A, and K controls. Why would you want to adjust the qualities of your memories? Supposing years ago you were rehearsing for a school play and your highly stressed teacher screamed at you, "You stupid boy, you blew that again." Now you're in a job where you need to make some strong presentations to colleagues and clients. Yet every time you get started, you begin to sweat and stammer, and the voice in your head goes, "You stupid boy! You blew that again!" You may need to adjust the qualities of your memories, because they get in the way of what you want to achieve. Imagine you slide the brightness control, and the picture of the teacher gets dimmer. Then you slide the size control, and the teacher gets smaller and becomes insignificant. Finally, you adjust the volume control, and the scream drops to a whisper. Now you find you can make presentations the way you always knew you could. I hope you're beginning by now to have a pretty good idea of which submodalities have the most impact on you. I also hope you have the conviction now that you are in control of your experiences and can change them so that you can choose how you feel. And remember, practice makes perfect. So get practicing, safe in the knowledge that you can't get arrested for playing with your submodalities, even in public. Since beliefs are self-fulfilling prophecies, it's useful to remember that you have control over choosing which ones you want to hold on to. Think of a belief it would be really useful for you to have. Call it a desired belief. It could be, for example, "I deserve to be successful." Then, think of a belief which for you is absolutely true. For example, "The sun will rise in the morning." Then, identify the submodalities of this absolutely true belief. For example, when you think of the sun rising, you may see it in front of you, about 6 feet away, in pale, shimmering orange colors, and very bright. You may feel warm all over, and hear bird songs. The final stage is to put the desired belief into the exact same submodalities of the absolutely true belief. Move the picture you get when you think of your desired belief to the same position and distance of the rising sun, and give it the same colors and brightness. Then produce the same feelings of warmth, and listen for the bird songs. One of the key NLP presuppositions is, the map is not the territory, meaning that your map of reality is only part of the story. The territory surrounding your map is bigger. An added complication is that the territory of your experience continually changes. The world is dynamic. How can you cope? The NLP approach is that to survive and thrive, you need to embrace the fact that change is happening and put strategies in place to work with it rather than against it. Change can be an opportunity and a positive energy force. NLP logical levels are a powerful way to think about change. They break it down into different categories of information. You may find it useful to look at them as a network of interrelationships or a series of concentric circles. All levels connect. Here they are: purpose, identity, beliefs and values, capabilities and skills, behavior, and environment. NLPers use the word congruence to describe precisely how you are when you're truly being yourself. It means you're really comfortably on track and consistent. The logical levels of behavior, capability, beliefs, values, and skills are all lined up. Look out for this alignment in organizations as well as people. When either are going through periods of change, then there's likely to be some misalignment. People may behave in unpredictable ways that are not a true reflection of what they really believe is right. As you begin to think about some change you'd like to make, you can ask yourself some questions at the different levels. Environment refers to the factors which are external opportunities or constraints. It answers the questions where, when, and with whom. Behavior is made up of specific actions or reactions within the environment. It answers the question, what? Capabilities are about the knowledge and skills, the how-tos that guide and give direction to behavior. It answers the question, how? Beliefs and values provide the reinforcement to support or deny our capabilities. It answers the question, why? Identity factors determine our sense of self. It answers the question, who? Purpose goes beyond self-consciousness to relate to the bigger picture about mission. It answers the questions, what for, or for whom? You can use the logical levels to think about what's happening in the world around you, step by step. They'll help you to understand the structure and pattern as well as the content of different issues, events, relationships or organizations. When you're facing a decision about change, or a dilemma that needs a solution, you can use the concept of logical levels to help you find the best way forward. First, you recognize that things are out of alignment. Then discover where the change really needs to take place. Once you have identified the logical level, you bring that level back in alignment with the others. For change to last, it's helpful to know where the change really needs to take place. Often we attempt to solve issues by changing the logical level, environment or behavior, when we need to be addressing a separate logical level of values, beliefs or identity. Similarly, when you have issues with someone's behavior, remember not to challenge their identity and to respect their beliefs. Wherever you're operating on the levels of change, it's important to make sure you get the resources in place at the logical level above.